Caught the wine bug on a visit to Burgundy in the mid-1990s. I got hooked. A couple years later, decided that maybe I could write about this subject. I want to talk about it in a funny, entertaining way. It's a world filled with great stories, compelling characters, and I want to bring that to life on the page. I want to bring it to life in all sorts of other ways as well. Jim Clendenin might look like a roadie for a Van Halen tribute band, but he's one of the greatest winemakers this country has ever produced, one of the greatest winemakers in the world. People are finally figuring out that great wines are made in the vineyard, not the cellar.
You know, people talk about winemakers' styles. The really funny thing about that is in France, they don't even have a word for winemaker.
Vineyard's coming to life. It looks like you got a couple weeks of growth here.
You know, we're almost a month right now, which is kind of fun, and everything is coming up even. You can see the pushes here. You notice all these tiny little clusters here, here. It looks like all the buds are fertile, so I'm really excited about that. And the only potential problem we have, Mike, as you know at this time, is if we get any frost right now, coming out this early, it could be a real problem.
These are nerve-wracking days for you as a winemaker, aren't they?
Yeah, I drink a lot at night, I sleep in pretty well, and I travel on the road a lot. And let my,
Stay away.
I let my people worry.
You have to pick the right vineyard, and you have to have a light touch with it.
Well, you know, everybody wants to make a wine that's a monument. They want to make the greatest Pinot Noir they've had instead of a good drink Pinot Noir, a good glass of Pinot Noir. Here's a Biennacido Pinot Noir, 2013. To me, it's got the requisite color, the requisite transparency, and hopefully that earth and spice and fruit you're looking for.
That's exactly what it's got. Look at that. You can see right through. It's light, but just packs so much aromatic complexity.
This is what we want from Pinot Noir.
This is what we want.
That's
That's
special.
right. The civilized, right-thinking people.
Good job, Mike. It's a human error here. I'm glad you didn't take a molar out at the same time.
Just as wine is having its moment, these craft beer brewers come along and steal the spotlight back. As a wine writer, it bugs me, but I have to admit, the beers are pretty good. Tell me a bit more about this.
It's a true Bavarian hef. We traveled to Germany to choose the yeast, and then we use local ingredients. We use oranges and lemons in the boil, in the whirlpool, so it gives it a nice zesty feel.
Beer has been able to go up market, you know, the whole craft beer thing, yet it keeps that blue-collar street cred. Wine has never had that. Sang Yoon is a rising star of the LA food scene. He's got a couple of amazing restaurants, and he's bringing us to Koreatown to experience his LA. When did you get into Champagne?
Working in France, you know, working at Jean Robuchon's restaurant, I got to hang with all the somms, and my gateway drug was 79 Salon.
That's a good gateway drug. That would get me hooked too.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's like it's the crack of champagne. Yeah. Upon first sip, I made a solemn promise to myself. I said I never want to run out of champagne, which is why I started collecting.
Here's two, man.
Cheers.
I mean, champagne is the answer to everything, basically.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So listen, tell me this. Korean American, grew up in LA. You go to France, train with not just any chef, but the greatest French chef of his generation, Joël Robuchon. How'd you end up flinging burgers in LA again?
I just felt like, you know, white tablecloths,
Yeah.
you know, the whole pretense of fine dining. I was really over that whole sensibility. And a friend of mine said, why don't you do a burger, but not just a normal burger, a real chef-driven burger. It just kind of made sense to me, and the rest is history. Here we are 14 years later.
You started a burger revolution.
But yeah, the burger that's been elevated, that kind of started here. So,
Yeah.
you know, Daniel Ballou and I, a good friend of mine, we have a little friendly, kind of friendly, sort of frenemy, I don't know what you call it, East Coast, West Coast rivalry about who's got the best burger in the country, you know.
Where are you taking me?
Koreatown in Los Angeles is all about little strip malls. Parks Barbecue, a temple of meat in a strip mall.
Fantastic.
Where are you gonna find that? Look at this variety. We have this seared tofu, this marinated raw crab. Look at that.
I'm taking the whole thing. You don't mind, do you?
You just, you know, the way you eat that, there's no elegant way to eat that. You just kind of grab it and just suck on it. These radish tops are amazing. Check that out. It's so gorgeous.
It's fantastic.
And of course, your favorites, all the beautiful dips.
I love the condiments. I mean,
Yeah.
the soy paste. I can eat that stuff by the spoon.
Well, that's a personal problem. You don't want to. If you ate this by the spoon, you wouldn't have many friends.
The only problem with kimchi.
Now you know how to use these.
I do. I
sure?
mean, you know, it's
You need to watch a YouTube video.
Yeah, exactly. Don't look. All right.
All right. Look at the marbling on this meat. Look at that.
You could eat this raw.
Yeah. Look, you brought a lot of red wine, so I hope some of it's gonna pair well.
We're gonna try. I got this. I got a Barbaresco.
Oh boy.
Every time I start flirting with vegetarianism, I do something like this. and
You were
I'm-
seduced back to the dark side, aren't you?
I'm pulled back.
There's no escape. This is a first. I've never had barbaresco with Korean food. This is foreign experience for sure.
What do you think?
I don't know. I'm reserving judgment. I'm having a hard time
You
putting
think it sucks, you just don't want to tell me that. I love it. It's a fascinating subject filled with interesting characters, great stories, incredible places. It's got culture, history, politics, economics. It's a subject that's just incredibly interesting, and that's what I try to bring to life in my writing, and that's what we're trying to bring to life with this show.